Hey guys, welcome to the next checkpoint. I'm Down Underdog.
I'm that guy named Ben.
This is Captain Orbit.
And Media Man.
And we have just finished watching the official Nintendo stream in regards to the Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
So,
We should make all our transitions with the, now we're going to switch to this guy. Oh, if you saw the live stream, you get that.
yeah, so if you haven't, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube by the time this is out. So
Yeah.
watch that, then come back and watch this. However, let's actually, before we even get to the hardware they announced or the games, what did you guys feel like the overall presentation? Just like the way that it was organized, the way that it was presented, the atmosphere, the kind of mood they set.
I think if it were any other company, I would have gone, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's Nintendo, because they have that overall family-friendly theme to it, you know, and that's how they've always been. That's probably how they always will be. So when people come out in goofy hats and goofy costumes and act goofy, I kind of go, okay, this is Nintendo, you know. It's all right with me just because it's them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
As it's true. Like if you do some of the things that we do at like summer camps, but like on a bus, people would be like, those guys are insane, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like when you're at summer camp, it's fine because you're lighthearted and stuff. I like the overall presentation. The intro, like warm-up sounds, I don't want to call it music, but that was a little
Pre-show was a little awkward.
Yeah.
But the lighting was pretty cool. But I felt like everything was pretty good overall. You know, one thing that and this has nothing to do with Nintendo or even this opening launch that we just saw. I just want one time. I just want one person to just talk. Like not rehearsed, not like, you know, okay, here's what we're gonna. I just want someone to just come up and just be excited for something, you know. But I mean, once again, it's not against anybody specifically. It's just it'd be nice to see somebody.
It's kind of like Steve Jobs' old school vibe.
And that-
where like when iPad first came out, he's like, wow, isn't this so cool? Like he was actually just as excited
Yeah.
and interacting with the audience. I mean, again, not having
Well, nothing against them, but I think them being Japanese,
the cultures.
it adds a lot to it. They're very.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a little bit of a different. I thought it was okay. I mean, there were some moments that was kind of fun, and again, kind of like you guys said, it's Nintendo, so you kind of expect a more family-friendly, kind of fun vibe. But I thought it was kind of drawn out and a little dull, to be honest. I mean,
I like the trailers that they put together. The trailers were pretty cool. I couldn't read Japanese, but they looked cool.
Yeah, I agree with that, and screens looked awfully nice. I want one of those in my home.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess kind of like what Ben was saying. It felt very hokey, but that's Nintendo.
Yeah.
I will say, and we'll get more into this later with the games. That same thing I've been worried about in the last episode is, and even the first episode, was that Nintendo has this determination to appeal to everyone that's in the house before the dedicated gamer. And that's just the atmosphere, again, it has that same vibe. It's about trying to reach the world instead of the gaming community.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there were certain titles that were obviously for the gaming community. We'll get to it later, but just like the overall presentation of the stream itself, it seemed less like Sony or Microsoft. They're you can tell it's for gamers.
Right.
Whereas this was just kind of like almost like an Apple announcement. It was for everybody. And it was marketed to everybody.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I think I want to add to it. To me, there was kind of for me a lack of focus. Like I was watching, just kind of going, okay, what's going on now? The only way I knew something was happening. Well, switch it up. Switch it up. You guys will see that. But so I didn't. Like I said, I know you guys say it's Nintendo and stuff. I just think they could do better.
I did like the one dude who like straight up just went, ah! Like that. then nothing. And then he goes, well, that didn't work as well as I thought. And you're like,
But
okay.
yeah, if you've ever played his games, man, yeah, it makes sense. He's off the wall.
Well,
But-
there's that one translator.
That
for English.
Suda 51,
Yeah,
the guy you're
yeah.
talking about.
He
by the way.
definitely, and like I said, I don't know if it was like a dialect thing, or maybe he just didn't like understand the Japanese as well or not, but he totally just
Yeah,
at one point.
botched it.
I think he was just
Yeah,
kind of like, I
that-
think I'm saying the right thing, but I'm not. I'm just going to keep going with
He
it.
just sounded like the one guy sounded pretty sure, but then when it got to that one translator, he was like,
Yeah.
and I like cookies. I mean, I wasn't
Yeah,
like
there's
this
a lot
random,
of- There's a lot of quiet.
grasshopper.
But no,
you know?
I enjoyed it. As far as live streams go, like there was no giant crab enemy that you hit the weak spot or critical damage. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like it was just straight and to the point, and they were like, look, here's our product. And I will admit, like, I haven't been this anticipated for anything. Just like was sitting here going, okay, are they gonna release Zelda? And then they're like, oh, what about Zelda? And then they're like, well, before we get to that, and I'm like, just tell me, you know. It's like the whole time,
Let me
like
know,
we
right?
knew,
Yeah.
okay, like you were saying, like there's got to be for launch because they wouldn't build it up and not have it.
Yeah.
But you're still sitting there going,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so
Spoiler alert, before we even got to games, Zelda's out at launch.
you just said it was for launch. I
man.
said, is it going to be? I said, is it going to be for launch? And I didn't answer.
Thank you for joining us. No,
We'll just like
That's all for this episode.
it's gonna be out at.
yeah, we'll just bleep that whole last minute.
But
So okay, so moving a little bit forward to hardware itself.
Yes.
yeah.
So, what were your guys' impression as far as the physical, aspect of the console?
I like it, and I think Nintendo, from the very beginning, I have to applaud them before you guys rip them apart. I have to applaud them. That when it comes to innovation and creative thinking, Nintendo is far and ahead of everyone else. You know,
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
the things they come up with aren't always accepted and blow up and are copied by other people or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're always thinking ahead and they're always trying to come up with something new, and I like that. about them.
I agree with you, but I think me and Jonathan are on the same page with this one. Those controllers, the size, they're so tiny. And I'm afraid my hands are going to cramp after extended play with someone else. Of course, when they're attached, they look fine. But
I was actually looking at what he was holding and then like picturing my phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy S6, and I was holding it in my phone and it looks smaller than
brought to you by
this.
Samsung.
You know, I would say it looks noticeably smaller than this.
Yeah.
And I remember
The Switch.
what are they called?
Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons, yeah. Yeah.
I remember back when and I don't know how many of you guys had an original Xbox. You remember the original controllers?
Hamburger control.
The
They call it
giant
the
thing.
hamburger.
I loved how
Yeah.
big those were.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they didn't sell well in Japan. And so they redid the controllers. They made them
Because they look
smaller.
like Godzilla to them.
And,
I mean, it was,
yeah, and that was exactly it. Is they said
Yeah.
that the controllers were too big for
They
the
were
average
huge.
Japanese consumer's hands.
they were too big for me.
And
Which is,
if this is the same case, they still look tiny, even in a Japanese consumer's
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I have no doubt that they're going to work. You know,
Right.
that you're going to get them and you're going to go,
Yeah.
this isn't as bad as I thought it would be or something like that. So I don't think it's going to cause as major of a problem. I think it's going to be more comfortable than it is going to be like, chicken pecking buttons and stuff. But it still does look like your hands are going to be about this far apart
Right.
as opposed to, the old controllers or whatever. It seems a little bit odd. And for me, I didn't have a Wii U, but the Wii U gamepad was about this big or whatever.
Yeah, it was
the
a
Wii
big.
remotes, I literally sat like this. So it's going to be a little
Yeah.
difficult kind of going back to, like the actual gamepad and stuff. But they when you have them individually, when you have them on the actual like control pad or whatever they called it, that one looked okay. But yeah, the each individual, yeah.
Joy-Con. Oh, yeah, I agree. And I think one of the things that did kind of frustrate me a bit was there's no spec announcement. They did the same thing with the Wii U. They didn't announce any specs, and no one, to this day, I don't know if anybody knows what was in the Wii U. That was their prior console, in case you didn't know. But yeah, the games looked great on the screen. I noticed a lot of detail and stuff like that. And with Nintendo, I don't think it matters as much, but you still would have liked a little bit more detail as far as what you're looking at, because there's so much stuff out there on the internet, like it's got an NVIDIA chip, it's this and that, it can make toast. I mean,
Well, I was saying, going on with specs, I'm happy that they actually talked about the battery life.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
that was the
that's
big
true.
Question mark everybody
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
You're talking about a portable device.
Yeah.
So, but even they are saying it's going to be dependent on what game you're playing.
Yeah.
Zelda's 2.5 hours. Just let's put it out right now.
You're going to 2.5 to 6.5.
2.5
Yeah,
to 6.5.
yeah, 6.5 is
Which-
a lot. Those
I will say.
6.5 is Tetris. 2.5 is Skyrim.
Well, and even beyond
Yeah.
that, developers have the
Yeah,
tendency
Skyrim's half an hour,
to
actually, but-
promote the best of their results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would probably
An
like to
hour
say
at the
it's
worst.
Probably going to be more like an
Yeah.
hour to 6 hours, more than two.
I honestly think like something like Skyrim is gonna. I don't think it's even gonna be 2 hours. I think it's gonna be.
I think
'cause that's
probably
really-
an hour and a half to 2 hours is probably more realistic.
Now I like Nintendo and I really do like the Switch. I wasn't really that sold on it or whatever.
Yeah.
But after I saw this, I was like, okay, this is definitely something that I'm going to pick up. I know in a
Yeah.
previous video I said I skipped the Wii U because it didn't have Zelda. Well, now this one does, so I'm going to end up picking it up. The thing that kind of scares me a little bit is that the literal console is the tablet. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like you're docking it into something and it
Right.
feeds off of, like the Wii U. It still
Yeah.
had the console, but the gamepad you could see things on it. That's what kind of concerns me is they're putting a console into a tablet-sized thing. And if you're looking for specs, I think that right there says enough that it's not going to be, as Major League Gamer compatible as, say, a PS4
Right.
or an Xbox
Right.
One. It still looks incredible, and the fact that you can run
Yeah.
Skyrim on it means a lot, considering you can't run Skyrim on a lot of laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just kind of worries me that they're relying their entire console is now a tablet.
Especially,
Yeah.
especially if you drop it.
And that's what I was
You're not
thinking.
replacing
What
an
if
accessory.
Yeah.
You're replacing the whole.
The whole-
like
the
what
whole
if you
thing.
what if you leave it on the bus, and then you're like, well,
Yeah.
guess I got to go buy a new Switch. Do they just sell the tablet?
Invest in Gorilla Glass. I'm just throwing that out there. But I wonder
It's gotta
that one
be
thing
something.
that they didn't really talk about is, and maybe I missed it. I don't think I did. But does the dock have any juice? I mean, does it boost it when you put the tablet into the dock?
Yes, the dock is a charging station.
Well, I know it's a charging station, but does it give it any more power? You know what I'm saying?
I would doubt it.
Graphically.
Yeah, because I had heard
Oh,
I had
I
heard
think
that.
charging.
Well, can I finish? Okay. No, it's okay. No, it's cool. We're good. We're
We'll
all right.
vote.
I'm so excited. I heard that it might boost it 20% if you plug it into the dock. There was all this, like I said, they weren't real clear on what the actual specs and how it works.
As far as the way that it looked like the dock was just a way to put the image
Well,
onto a TV.
That's what I'm thinking too, but the rumors haven't been put to rest as far as it might give it a little bit more
Yeah.
oomph.
I would be surprised if it did,
I would be
but
very surprised. I mean, that would be like saying I charge my phone and the graphics are suddenly greater.
I put on these
Well,
shoes and
my
I can
phone
jump
is
higher and
lower.
run
No, but-
faster, but I can.
I know what
swear.
you're saying, but in all fairness, it's a dock. It's not like you're just plugging it into a cable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the potential is there. I don't think it'll happen either.
I just don't know how it's
But-
technologically possible. That's the only thing that I'm
they
thinking of.
do have laptops. NVIDIA's come out with a external device that you plug a laptop in that takes over.
Oh,
Right.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that makes more
So when
sense.
you plug
Yeah,
that
right.
in, you plug that into the device.
So it's running through that. Okay.
Well, see, I think the fact that the dock has the HDMI cable going from it to the television, it's obviously going to look better because the Switch itself, the tablet, is only 720.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously it's going to look
That's
better
gonna
once
look
it's going through the
Yeah.
HDMI cable into your television.
Yeah.
But I don't think the dock itself is giving the game any sort of greater.
It's
specs.
something I think they'll probably may or may not answer later.
it's one of those Mad Cats will do it, or
no,
Nikon
yeah.
or something.
If it's anything, it's not going to be huge.
Yeah.
20%.
Oh,
I think you just give it a few years, they'll come out with the Switch XL or something like that.
It's gonna be like a 32 inch.
put it on your lap
Well,
on the
because
table.
it is really
But-
small. I mean, for comparison, the iPad Mini is 7.9 inch, and this is 6.2. It's really small.
Yeah.
It's bigger than a
Yeah.
phone. It's a
It's-
phablet.
yeah,
type.
It is, yeah.
It's really small.
Which is
so
interesting.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
before we go on to games or whatever, because I don't know how much we're going to talk about hardware. Let's talk about the subscription, the Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, like.
Yeah,
Nintendo Now.
Yeah, they didn't release a name for it.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't see that being too successful in the long term.
No.
Immediately, I especially because they're offering it as a free trial.
Right.
You're gonna see a ton of people.
For a year, did they say it was a year?
I think they said
They said up until August, I believe.
August, so it's like 6 months.
Roughly.
Yeah.
But I can't see it being long term unless they were. Well, I guess Splatoon might be. I don't know.
At best.
I don't see them having any kind of a hard.
They need a Call of Duty. They need a Halo. They need something that's going to have
here's
people.
the thing too. For me, when I think Nintendo, and I know they're trying to do something different, I think co-op, and that's what I want. I think they do things differently. If I want to go online, I'm going to play on my PS4 or my PC or my Xbox One or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can't see it. Maybe except for a few things here and there.
Maybe Overwatch. It's out for every other console.
I mean,
But would
that
you-
would be enough to drive the online?
Yeah, but the question is, would you? Switch
would.
over to?
Yeah, would you stop playing PC Overwatch to play it on the Switch?
I would, because it's just a
Would
bunch
you?
of kids playing on. I'd be a god on Nintendo Switch. I'd be like,
Okay,
yes.
that's a fair point. But I wouldn't have the mic on. I wouldn't want to hear.
Yeah, right.
You shot me.
But yeah, no, I think it comes to the game lineup.
Yeah.
However, and we'll get into it later, one of the games they did say was FIFA Online, which for me means nothing, but for 95% of the world, that means everything.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
It depends on how organized the online play is.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
if they end up doing some kind of a league competition or a world competition, I think that might be enough. But I think that's what it comes down to. People play online play on PS4, on Xbox One, because there's competitive, games that people can go and play against other people in a competitive nature. But that's not what Nintendo's trying to brand.
Right.
They're trying to brand a fun, get together, casual, fun icebreaker, in their words, play. So I don't see that kind of a merge there.
People paying
I will-
$50
I
a year
will
to
throw-
share their Mii's.
Yeah,
Is that-
exactly. Well, I will throw this out. I remember when I had the Dreamcast, I played Phantasy Star Online to death. That was the one that I paid. This was way back when everything was broadband. You had to plug everything in. It was slow as it was ridiculous. But I got that, and I spent a bunch of money on internet back then, and just so I could play with my friends online.
Yeah.
I think if Nintendo could come up with an original IP that no one else has, that could drive that network.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'll just add, though, I think that IP would need to have a competitive nature, like a
Sure.
a Splatoon or like Overwatch, something where there's causing people to try to be the best at something.
I think if they make it like it's an esport or something like that, I think that'll help boost it. Because it's Splatoon. I played Splatoon. It's a really fun game to play with other people. But I don't think that would drive the online. I wouldn't pay $50.
The 2017 MLG World Championships
Yeah.
of Splatoon, and you're like, well.
Plus, with people with multiple accounts or multiple systems, you're talking $50 for PS Plus, $50 for
Yeah.
Xbox Live. Now we want $50 for the Nintendo, so it's $150 a year. That's steep.
Okay, so to sum up, hardware then. If you could rate the hardware, just the hardware, from what you see in the scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I feel like if you can count, I feel like we just said this.
One single word. 8. Go.
I feel like the concept of it and the look of it is pretty cool. I'd rate that like a 9 or so. Hardware, they didn't give any specific specs during the presentation, so I can't really comment on it, but I think it's probably going to be a 6 or 7. I think it'll be a little underwhelming.
Well, you guys know what I think. I was happy with it. I didn't expect it to be, overly 1080p, all this kind of stuff. I expect it to be a Nintendo console, which is to say gaming. The games. That's what I expect from a Nintendo console, not the highest quality graphics and stuff. Overall, I liked the way that it looked and it felt. more so than probably any other previous console. I really, really like the whole presentation of the console itself. Overall, even taking, hardware into account, I would give it an 8. I would say it's probably like 8.5, just because I'm excited to see. We'll get more into it in the games, but that not everything relied on motion controls, and not everything relied
Thank
on
goodness.
face sensors, and not,
Thank goodness.
So,
Yay. Yeah, actually, I was going to give it an 8 too. I feel like I should do like an 8.5 just to want to
8.37.
be somewhere in between. But just for the look of it, like Ben, I do, I do really love the look of it. I love the tablet. I was kind of looking at it as more of a 3DS kind of thing that you could plug into your TV. So I don't have the same expectations as it being, a PS4 Pro or Xbox Scorpio or whatever they're going to wind up calling it when it comes out. So I think just the general idea, what the reason it's not a 10 is I really don't know specs, and that is I do kind of want to know. And then the controllers, when you take them off, are just, I have small hands, and even for me, I was
They're
looking
potentially
at
tiny.
yeah, well, they look like it. They
What
look
do you
like
think,
it
John?
again.
Okay, so I'll be honest, I'm gonna say a 5.
I'm gonna say 9. Oh, out of 100. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yes.
Say a 5.
Yeah.
I'll be 100% honest. I was kind of like you guys already said, really disappointed they didn't actually announce any kind of hardware specifics, with the exception of the battery and just broadly about the controllers and details. I was kind of excited about the HD Rumble.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that'll be
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
But I can also see it being very gimmicky, depending on
Yeah.
how it gets incorporated. So, that being, set aside though, I just, again, I'm sounding a broken record. I just wish Nintendo would try and really push themselves to be competitive
Right.
with the other two systems, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're still trying to do their own thing in their own bubble, in their own arena, which is fine. They're successful, as far as I know, they're successful. But they're not drawing the gaming community in a way where people are like, wow, this is the Nintendo that I never expected.
Yeah.
This is just the Nintendo that we expected. It's got some cool features we didn't expect, but it's the Nintendo we expected.
Yeah.
And that's what's so disappointing for me. I really wish they would just take that jump and be like, you know what? It's going to be a $400 or $500 console, but it outperforms.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, okay, Nintendo's finally trying to be a competitor. Right now, they're competing against their last console. That's all Nintendo's done. And, more power to them. It's just not something I'm excited about hardware-wise. Games, yeah, I'm excited about some games. But hardware, I'm just not that excited
Conceptually, are you excited about it? The fact that you can be playing a game and immediately just pull it out, take it with you on the go, and keep
For
playing
me
it?
personally, no. Because the battery life is so low that...
Well, hardware and all that aside, the concept of it, just that
the
concept
concept?
of taking a game with you, like going directly from your TV, taking it off, taking it out on the road with you. Like, don't you think that's kind of cool?
It is cool, except for the fact that we talked about that if I drop it, my console's broken.
Yeah.
If I lose it, I lost my console.
Yeah.
Not my accessory.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary to me.
True.
I think one thing that kind of went under the radar when they were talking is when you plug it in, first of all, it uses the same connector as like an Android phone. So it's the
Yeah, that's
micro USB or whatever.
Which is cool.
However, they explicitly said that you can play it while charging.
Yeah.
So it charges at a rate faster than the battery drains. And
yeah, that's true.
and so I think that
which
was
is nice.
I think that'd be really
That's cool.
nice if
Yeah.
you're sitting there waiting, because I know with John or Dog's job,
They've already
and so I know, just kidding. Just kidding. But like you're sitting there waiting for orders, waiting for calls, and all that kind of stuff. In my job, there are times when I'm waiting on a response for an email or something, and it'd be nice to just plug it into the wall,
Yeah.
kick back, and pick up a launch title, whatever it might be.
I will throw this out too, and again, the reason it was higher probably than a 5 or 6, because there were some things I was really disappointed in, is the idea of that Zelda game on the go.
Yeah.
Just that the console / tablet is powerful enough at least to make that look amazing. Of course, Nintendo does that anyway. Stuff on the N64 shouldn't have worked on the N64 when they put out Zelda, and they've always done that. So it's,
You know what I would like to see though, and I remember when you brought up the HD Rumble feature. I would like to see it if you're doing like a first person shooter, and like as you fire, like you can feel it getting lighter and lighter because like you're firing bullets, so like, you know when to reload and stuff when it like feels empty, and then you're like I think it'd be pretty cool.
There's some pretty neat concepts, but I will say I'm gonna get burned for this. But I hated the Wii controller. I hated the Wii remote with a passion, except for the boxing game. That was fun. But like when I played Zelda, trying to do this, and maybe I'm just lame. I just, and I'm hoping that they don't rely too much
force
on
you
stuff.
to use it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they are. I mean, the fact that you can plug it into the Pro controller and things like that.
I think there'll be a few games that make you kind of like the Move for the PS3.
Did the GameCube already have like a Pro controller? Like I know the Wii already had like
The Wii and the Wii U did,
yeah,
for
they
sure.
all had like that supplemental, but that wasn't enough by in and of itself to really pull in that dedicated game group. It's
Right.
still that everybody just used the Wii chunks.
Yeah.
And so that's why I don't know.
I know. I guess.
I mean, I believe me, I would love to be proved wrong.
Yeah.
Really thoroughly enjoying the heck out of the console.
Yeah.
I would love to be thoroughly proved wrong. I just the way they presented it, the lack of information, the scary, anxiousness or anxiety I would have of leaving it behind, or especially because I'm a clumsy person, dropping and cracking my console.
Yeah.
That scares me, and that scares me enough to be like, you know what, I'm mildly excited.
I think one of the things I was disappointed in is we don't know storage. Is it going to have built-in storage? Will it, like I predicted, will it have a micro SD or SD slot or something that you can, please not proprietary, I can't even say it, but like Sony did on the Vita.
Actually, it probably doesn't.
Proprietary, yes. Got it.
Well, see, actually, it probably doesn't have a micro SD card because the whole console is in the handheld.
But
so if it has storage, it would be in the handheld device already, right?
Yeah.
You could easily do flash storage.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I'm just saying, but if there's some way to expand the storage, because I don't know what kind of storage is it going to have.
That's true. That's true.
I can't see 500 gigs being in a tablet.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm, maybe you know something we don't. They are Nintendo. They're magicians.
They took all that battery space and put that storage space.
Yeah.
And now that's why it's only.
It's actually run by double A's. No.
Yeah, right.
Watch
All right,
battery.
well, let's switch to games. All right, so let's talk about the games. So, maybe we should kind of do them by category. We have kind of the more gimmicky, I'm going to call them, that's what they are.
Yeah.
More gimmicky games. Then you have kind of your Nintendo proprietary games, and then we have a third party.
Both of them.
In fact, we can swap that as
Don't you mean
Switch
it?
Uh-huh.
Come on, it's literally about the Switch, and you're like, swap it.
Yeah, thank you.
Drop the ball.
We'll switch that.
Don't be down an
And
underdog.
We'll do the gimmicky first, then third party, and we'll wrap it up with the Nintendo proprietary.
Okay.
So
The ultimate gimmicky game is coming out at launch, and it's 1-2 Switch. Can we all agree on
Which sounds like an early 2000s hip hop song.
Right.
1-2 Switch is going to be the most gimmicky one there is.
Boy, that cowboy outfit, though.
Dude, but like you said, like
Village
I'm
People.
yelling High Noon every time I play it.
I'm
gonna be
honestly
like-
thinking Village People. Just that one guy. I don't know.
I think honestly though, in some ways I can see it working because it's so gimmicky. Just like when the Wii came out, Wii Sports was kind of gimmicky.
Yeah.
But what did we play at every party we ever had? We played Wii
Mario
Sports.
Party. Oh, sorry.
You played Wii
I lost
Sports.
like 20 pounds from Wii Sports. I mean,
Yeah, you play those gimmicky games because it's cheesy and it's fun.
And it's
you
fun,
know?
yeah.
So
But the danger of that is because it was just like Wii Sports was a launch title, because this is what people will always associate with the launch. Now, in this case, there is the exception because what else is launch? We'll get into it again, but you know, it's the FIFA.
Well, what
It's just that danger of, you know, people getting worn out
right.
by playing another cowboy shoot. Cowboy shoot.
But you know that whole
But I
thing.
don't think it's something. I don't think that's a game where you're like, "Hey, I'm going to sit down and play this for 8 hours or something."
Right.
You know, like you would with Skyrim or you would with Zelda. This is a, "Hey, we have an hour to kill. We're having a party, a get together. Let's have a little fun." Boop, boop,
But
boop.
see-
now let's go eat pizza.
See the way
you know?
the way my brain works. So I'll give you a little insight in the meeting man's brain. I'd probably get that crazy looking dude, you know, because you're supposed to stare at each other. You'd be like, I just can't, you know.
No, I do somewhat agree with what you're saying. I could also see it being where if you have the Switch, somebody comes over to your house, oh, you have a Switch? Let's play that game I saw every single time. Every single person that comes over is going to want to play the Cowboy Showdown.
Yeah.
And after that 17th friend that comes over, like, okay, let's go play.
My question is, what were the clown things? Like, what game was that? Like, pie in the face clowns or what?
There's a whole bunch of weird.
Yeah.
There were people like
I just-
arm wrestling, I think, in one.
I
and they were like
hate
cowboys.
clowns. Unless it's a shooter where you can shoot the clowns, I'm not interested.
No, that's real life. That's actually
real life.
happening right
That's
now.
what we're actually doing.
I'm
No.
almost positive, and I did record it. I'm going to go back and look. I'm almost positive I saw a quick snap of, it looks like they were trying to milk a cow. And they were in, like, farm outfits. And they were
You mean
doing
with-
this.
All we need are the VR goggles. We just need VR goggles for it, and we'll be like, oh yeah.
It's like you were really
Milk that
there.
cow. What are you doing? I'm milking a cow. I swear. I swear.
I can almost taste the milk.
I'm gonna splash milk on you while you
It'd be like the
play.
ice cube thing. It feels like there's milk in there
Oh,
now.
that's true. That's true.
In some ways, I think this kind of goes back to like Nintendo always being ahead of innovation, though.
Yeah.
Like the Wii, when the Wii came out, the big thing at the time was fitness. So they were trying to get people up, get them moving. Now, what's the problem? You go out to dinner with all your friends, everybody's looking at a screen. You go over to somebody's house, everybody's looking at a screen. So they're trying to get people out of that. Hey, don't look at the screen. Now we're going to play a game, but we're going to look at each other, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think there's definitely some positives about the gimmicky things.
So hashtag.
Hashtag courage.
Took a
Sorry,
page,
Apple.
took a page right out of
Apple. Courageous company.
That's right.
Oh man.
No consoles. It's a deck of cards going back to their original roots.
Right. Oh man.
Okay, so gimmicky, scale of 1 to 10, would you buy, okay, put it this way, if you had an option you buy the console, you have two different bundles. One comes with the gimmicky games, the other comes with any other game. It doesn't even need to be the big one.
Any other game.
A bundle with no games or a bundle with a gimmick game.
Which one do you buy? Same price. Which one do you buy?
Well, I don't. You don't buy the gimmicky game. The only way they're gonna get rid of 1-2 Switch is if they're giving it out for free. If it's like, hey, this comes.
Which they
free.
probably will.
Yeah, if it comes free with the
Like
Switch.
Nintendo Land, right?
Other than that, nobody's gonna purchase that game.
I mean, do you remember like when I bought the Wii U way back when? It came with Nintendo Land, and it was fun, but I wouldn't have bought the game. You know, and that 1-2 Switch might be more fun than it looks. But I'm not going
I'm gonna
to
have a
buy
blast
it.
with it.
I'm
But
sure it'll be fun for, like I said, the first 17 times you play it. It's probably gonna be
okay,
a blast.
wait, hold on. How many times did you skip rocks in Wii Play?
Okay.
Oh,
But again,
got him.
That's actually a perfect example. We played that once, and we have not played it since.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it out. We're playing it after this video. We're playing.
But
We're skipping rocks.
I will say this: if they come up with a gimmicky game that's like Wii Sports, I would buy it.
But look at
I think we have spent way too much time talking about 1-2 Switch.
Okay, last thing about gimmicky games. When Wii Sports came out, it was bundled with the console, and everyone was like, it's the best-selling game of all time because you gave it with the console. Wii Play came with an extra controller.
Yeah.
I bought Wii Play because I wanted the Motion Plus controller. I needed it for Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword.
So will it have to come with 2 Joy-Cons, or?
Well, you can't milk one udder. You gotta.
That's
Well, I don't know.
the udder.
They didn't really announce any sort of bundles like that. When they were telling what's in the box, they said the console, the dock,
Sure they did.
the left and right Joy-Cons,
It was just different colors.
an HDMI cable, and a Pro controller. So
Yeah.
So technically, it sounds like the game's not.
So
No, the
might-
Pro controller didn't come with it, did it?
It says that in there. It
No,
said-
it said it was an optional accessory.
Yeah, it was an optional accessory. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it didn't say anything about a game, so
Yeah.
I would like to see the sales of 1-2 Switch.
Like I said, initially it'll probably be a lot because people will probably buy both launch titles.
Yeah.
Well, there will be a bundle probably by the holidays, but we all
Yeah.
know that.
Let's talk about ARMS.
Yeah. Oh. I'll be honest. That was probably my favorite.
Best.
My favorite presentation. Out
Yeah.
of all the games, I think that was probably the most interesting to watch from start to finish.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is because you're saying that is I was watching it at first going, this is so stupid. Then I just started kind of going, and it started looking like kind of Street Fighter, like kind of but punching. And I just the more they did it, and then when they showed people actually playing it, I'm like, okay, this has some potential for some.
I was saying, I think it has potential if they continue to put regular, kind of like Overwatch, if they continue to come out with more characters that can do different things, and it becomes kind of like that same kind of competition, I can see that, probably not rivaling a lot of popular titles,
Yeah.
but I could see that definitely having a fan base.
Yeah.
That's actually
That's-
like ongoing.
And that's honestly one I could see them with the multiplayer doing, if it's smooth,
Yeah.
doing like an esport or something like that, which would be really smart for Nintendo to tap into that. But that's
Well,
another-
especially because you are the controller. So
Yeah.
now it
Yeah.
actually takes full body motion to actually do a move,
Yeah.
as opposed
Yeah.
to just this.
I do want to say I do want to commend Nintendo for trying to get people off the couch again.
Yeah.
Because I think that was really a lot of people that never moved when they got the Wii. They were up there doing this, and you didn't think about the sweat and everything else you were doing because it was so much fun. So I think that there's definitely potential as long as it works right.
All right, ARMS. Would you buy it?
Yeah.
Would you buy it?
No.
Would you buy it?
Depends on how much it is. If it's 40, yes. It's 60, no.
Man, I would like to test it out first. I would like to play it. I would wait for you to buy it, and then I'd try it out, and then I'd decide.
And
But
can I add too? It depends on how many characters there are. If there's like 4 characters and stuff.
they
Well,
only
actually,
showed
they
two.
They showed 2.
Did they show?
Did they
They
show
showed
4?
4.
Four?
There was the one that I remember. I saw
Oh, I
the
think
one
I
that
sneezed and
Eva
missed
as,
something.
Like a big
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's
And there was the one that
I thought that was a skin, but okay. Yeah. But the other question is, it's a cool idea, but are the characters going to play different enough? Because it's all like
Yeah.
punching and stuff that it's worth.
Well, I don't think they have a long enough presentation to go into individual.
Well, no, well, no, I agree with that, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that would be one of the questions.
Yeah.
I'd want to probably look at the back of the box and kind of figure out.
One
Yeah.
thing I did think was cool, not about the games, but about the Switch itself, was that they said you can link up to 8.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really cool for playing with your friends online. and
That's
stuff,
true.
you know?
Especially Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
an 8-player traditional,
Yeah.
like from Grand Prix. Now you have live 8
Yeah.
people doing Grand Prix. I mean, that'd be awesome.
And I do want to say I love the idea. This is the games, well, hardware too, kind of, but it's more games. I love the idea that Nintendo is they seem to be bringing back co-op with this again. I mean, they kind of had co-op on the Wii U, but this is really just with the system. It comes with the 2
Yeah.
controllers, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that.
Okay, so there's a lot of titles that kind of just flash.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's talk about the major ones. We have Skyrim.
Yeah.
We have FIFA,
Yeah.
and we have the big.
Xenoblade 2 is actually pretty
Xenoblade,
legitimate. Yeah.
So those
Mario.
three kind of grouped together.
Yeah.
Would you buy them? What's your thoughts?
Skyrim, definitely.
Really?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm not. I know you guys. I don't know so much about Media Man over here. I know you guys are like completely PC Master Race kind of.
Oh, I put 400 hours into it on the PC. So.
I like console just because I'm not a hardcore gamer. It's like I like
Yeah.
console just because I'm very casual. I'm
Yeah.
not into competition. I love co-op games. I love multiplayer games. I love. To me, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
So I want to play Skyrim for fun. I don't want to, I don't want to get like all crazy into it or whatever. So it's like I would probably buy it. The other ones probably not so much.
Okay, that's cool. Okay.
What was the first one?
Skyrim.
Oh, FIFA. That was the one that I was thinking of. Yeah, FIFA. No, we'll just cancel right there.
Wait,
I have
what?
nothing. I mean,
What if they bundle it?
Surprise! I'm not a sports game fan. I had fun. We had a Madden game back for the GameCube, and it was all right, you know, because you could make your own characters and stuff. But like, I'm just not a sports game fan in any form or fashion. But I did hear, for those of FIFA fans out there, FIFA 2017 does have like a story campaign now. So yeah,
cool.
you play as like an up and coming football player, and like you go, you like climb the
Love the
ranks
accent.
and, you know, all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I hate saying football. You got to say football.
Football.
You gotta say it with
It's
an
the football.
accent. But yeah, so it's really cool. You go through, you can get traded, you can, you know, accept contracts and all that stuff, and it's voice acted, like it's like it's a legitimate story campaign, and then you ruin it with soccer. So I'm kind of like,
It needs to be like soccer spirits. No.
I finally won't be the most hated person in the video. It's like,
literally, like
You're gonna
all
get
of
it
like
now.
India
All of
is
Europe
just
now
gonna
hates
hate
Captain
me
Orbit,
right
you
now.
know?
Like,
South America, Europe, Asia.
But
they all hate
okay,
you.
hey,
It's okay. America loves you.
I play Lucio, and Lucio has a football skin, so I'm good. No. It's just not my
Yeah.
thing. You know, the graphics are gorgeous. I enjoy watching people play, just like real sports. I enjoy watching people play them more than I like it myself. I probably will not be getting Skyrim, simply because, like you said, I enjoy my PC version.
Yeah.
And there are 500 billion mods that you can do. Xenoblades 2, I will absolutely be getting. Xenoblade Chronicles and, you know, the whole series has just been really good.
Brilliant.
And I'm eager to see how this goes. And the scope of the trailer was just
The one on the 3D, the 3DS is
magnificent.
brilliant.
That huge dragon comes up at the end. It was so like awe-inspiring. It was like, what? Do I have to fight that?
That was amazing. That really was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge FIFA fan either. I'm a big NBA fan, but we're not talking about that right now. But if they come out with 2K16, definitely.
17.
17, I'm sorry. I'm
But knowing
behind
Nintendo, they probably would.
And they were doing a bunch of
Behind-
flashes of the games.
Yeah.
NBA was in there, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely
When they come out with
coming
17, that's one I'll look at for sure. But I don't think I'll be playing on the small screen with another buddy. I just I wear these for a reason. Xenosaga, definitely. I like you. I love the whole series, and even the one on the 3DS. The new 3DS was brilliant. And I love RPGs. So what was that? The other one? I'm sorry, Mario. Did we
Skyrim.
mention Mario? No. Okay, Skyrim. Actually, I probably would buy it simply because it's the handheld version of Skyrim. To
That's
me,
true. That does make a
I've
big
put, and just to kind of give you an idea, I've put about 500 hours into. This is sad. Into Skyrim on the PC because of the billions of mods, and it looks amazing. And same with Fallout 4. So yeah, you know, I'm a big fan of their game, Bethesda games. So I would probably pick it up just for that, and to have it on the console. Just for, cause sometimes I just want to sit down and not mess with mods. You don't have to worry about crashing. Because I just modded one on PS4 Pro. There's Skyrim on PS4 Pro, and whoops.
Yeah, it's a difference.
You can't have 100 mods on there.
If
I
they
guess.
re-released an HD Morrowind, I would,
Oh.
I would drop
Bro,
everything.
Can you
and
see
buy
that? Can you see this? Yeah,
I would-
I'm with you. That's
you?
probably my favorite all time.
Okay.
I don't. Let me first. I'm gonna guess. I don't see you playing any of those three.
One of them actually.
Oh, really?
And it's the one that none of you want to play.
FIFA.
Xenoblade? I was just hoping. You were gonna say. If I could
I went so disappointed.
I will say
No.
I'm actually the one thing that Nintendo has not had a grip on is sports games.
That's true.
They've
Yeah.
never. I mean, Madden was their thing all the way up through the 64.
Yeah.
But after once GameCube started, they don't have
Yeah.
the same. Again, the competitive players.
Yeah.
They're just that's sports. It's competitive players. You know. So, but that being said, the fact that FIFA is coming to Nintendo Switch, I think it's, you know, especially like you're saying, if it's got like the whole campaign, you know,
Right.
where it's a little bit more involved, that to me is more exciting than playing, no offense, a game, Skyrim, that's been out for how many years?
Yeah.
And then they re-released it with a Legendary Edition.
Right.
And then there's mods in the PC. I really don't have a desire to play it on a console.
Which makes sense, but for someone who travels, it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And I do want to say to the sports thing, you're right about Nintendo not having a lot, but I do, maybe I'm the only one, I do love the Nintendo sports titles, like their baseball and their soccer
okay.
and
Well,
their...
yes. And those.
And I hope they make one for Switch. But I don't know if that really counts because it's not,
You mean like, yeah,
you know.
dude.
FIFA.
Those power-ups,
actually
though.
be pretty cool though when you're doing if you can connect with 80 of your friends. You know,
FIFA
would be pretty
Yeah,
fun.
Like, that would be awesome.
I
And
will
then they
say
also
that,
said
yeah.
they have the feature where you can do video capture and screen capture on the Switch now. And
Yeah.
I think that would work with
Screen capture when it launches
Yeah.
and video
Yeah.
capture
That would work
later.
with
But
it.
yeah, absolutely. And and as a Let's Player, I'm thrilled. But back to the FIFA thing, just real quick. I did go over to a friend's house and had a blast playing FIFA. I wasn't great at it, but playing with him and just kind of figuring it out, it was fun. I just wouldn't buy it just for me. I don't play that solo.
And then as far as the Xenoblade, I haven't played any of those from before, and I'm one of those sticklers where,
Yeah.
same with movies, I have not seen the
Yeah.
first ones or previous ones. I do not want to see something later in the sequel.
I think they should put the first one for download on the Switch.
If they
Then
did
you can
that,
catch up. That'd be awesome.
I would do the catch up and then.
I think we saw a lot more Xenoblade too, because I think there was other people that are in the same, and I get that. I totally get that. So.
How far through Mass Effect are you?
Moving on. All right. All right. So now we're down to the ones that people buy Nintendos for.
Right.
So we have Mario.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
Yes.
And we also
Well
have
done, Ben.
the
Thank
big
you.
moneymaker, which is Zelda.
FIFA. Oh,
Yes.
we already covered FIFA. Sorry.
Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then the other one I kind of wanted to put along with these was Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh, yeah, good call.
I think those three together is a good mix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fire
And
Emblem.
I honestly, I think I would buy them all.
Okay.
I'm not into Mario games very much. I wasn't into Super Mario 64. I wasn't into. Never really gotten into Mario games. This one kind of looked fun. This one looked like it
Yeah.
would be fun because it looked.
Sonic Adventure.
I love that they removed it from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was awesome.
To me, it felt very Banjo-Kazooie, going
Yeah.
to all these different worlds
Nice.
and having these different adventures in every
Yeah.
different world, And so I think all three of these games are ones that I would get.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good.
Same thing. I'm not a big fan of Mario. When Super Mario 64 came out, I was a Banjo-Kazooie fan. I was a Legend of Zelda fan. I've never been a fan of Mario games. Super Mario World, like on the SNES, was probably my favorite, but
Yeah.
this one looks different enough to capture my interest. The only thing that I'm kind of hesitant on is it looked, and I know that's going to be different when you actually play the game, it didn't look like there was a lot of directive. So I'm hoping that it's not just explore and find something,
Yeah.
I hope it's more of a go here, do this, kind of thing.
Super Mario 64 was
Yeah.
still open world, but it was very directed.
Yeah.
It had clear goals and a clear path that could block off certain pathways until you reach a certain progression.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully they kind of follow that model. It's like, I agree with you, maybe the two open worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about that one. I don't even need to talk about Breath of the Wild. I'm going to buy 2 copies just because I love it so much. I don't even care.
One not to open.
And then Fire Emblem Warriors. I feel the same way about Hyrule Warriors. I'm not a fan. That's not my kind of game.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that it is, just like FIFA. I'm sure it's a great game. I honestly am. But it's just not my style.
I like fighting games. I like hack and slash. So it's,
Yeah.
He likes backing into a corner and doing this with E Honda. Okay.
He's just mad that I always won.
It's a button masher.
I'm feeling a little tension here.
Breath of the Wild, though. I mean,
Yeah.
how expansive does that world look?
Yeah, it looks amazing.
That looks like an
Yeah,
incredible
it
world.
looks
they've
amazing.
created.
That's like more, I feel like that's kind of more when Caliber's sick.
Yeah.
Hours and
Oh, yeah.
hours in that game.
Yeah. It looks like Zelda Elder Scrolls. Zelda Scrolls. But it looks amazing to me. That's the big game that I'm looking forward to. The reason I will plunk $300 down if they let me for the Switch. But I am a Mario fan. I loved Super Mario 64, probably one of my favorites. First really open world 3D game. And Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS was one of my favorites as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it actually reminded me of Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
The first time I played that on the Dreamcast absolutely blew my mind. And when I was watching that, I'm like, I saw cars and he was bouncing. He even rolled like Sonic. But obviously Mario did it first. But it looks, to me, it looks phenomenal. I'm really excited about that game, to be honest. And I think people that don't normally like Mario are probably going to like it because it looks like you can just kind of bounce around and do whatever you want to do. You know, it's not quite as restrictive as some of them.
Yeah.
So that one looks really good to me.
Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem, I'm actually interested in because I do like those kind of games. I don't like the Dynasty Warriors ones, but I'm enjoying the heck out of Hyrule Warriors, mainly because I grew up with the characters and stuff, and I'm, able to beat the crap out of them. Change comes out. I wish that happened in real life.
Kind of does.
Yeah, kind of. Boom. Ding! But yeah, so I am actually interested in that one. I probably will buy that one. As long as it doesn't, come out at launch with Zelda, because that's the one. I'm sorry, the other ones.
That was it. Those
Those
three.
three.
Just the three.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd probably buy all three, and I don't think they're going to be all at the same time. So.
I will probably buy 2 out of the 3. I would say Mario and Zelda.
Yeah.
I've been a Mario fanboy since the NES, and I'm really playing it.
Yeah.
And obviously Zelda, same thing, we need to talk about it. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
But I have to agree with Kevin around the same kind of a mindset when it comes to the whole Dynasty Warriors style.
Right.
I'm just not a fan, so I probably won't be getting that.
And I will add, because we didn't mention this game, because it was kind of a flash, but Dragon Quest Warriors thing, that one and 2, I played 1 to death. It's actually my favorite Warriors game, even better than Hyrule. It's absolutely so much
Dragon
fun.
Quest Heroes?
Heroes, yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you, because there is another Dragon Quest coming out that I'm interested.
Coming out in Japan.
2 others that are.
They'll come out here probably.
There are
I'm
certain-
100% positive, maybe. Remember?
Yeah, because there are definitely certain, in the past, like Final Fantasy.
Well, I did-
Made it to US, so.
I did do a lot of research kind of on this, and they said they really do want to bring it out here. So I think there will be an announcement, but it could be a year later. It could be, who knows. But the Dragon Quest Heroes, I love that game to death. I have it on PS4, and I can't wait, to be honest. I may be the only one here, but sometimes I just like turning my brain off and just kind of, and I love the characters and kicking the crap out of slime. So for me, that's one.
See, that's kind of why I like the Fire Emblem Warriors and games like that. To me, like you said, just turning your mind off.
Yeah.
For me, that's what those fighting hack and slash games are.
Yeah.
It's not I don't want to sit down and think. I don't want to solve a puzzle. I just want to play a game and just have fun and just cut things in half. And
And we all work here, and we do a lot of problem solving. I've got kids, we do problem solving. You know what I mean? So I don't, at least initially, don't want to sit down and problem solve necessarily. That's later maybe when I'm relaxed. But so for me, those have always been great that way.
It's funny, because I'm the exact opposite.
I want a puzzle to solve.
I want to immerse myself in
sure.
games that I play to the point where, it's something where I'm trying to literally figure out everything possible that I can do to progress.
Yeah.
So it's about the whole excuse me, about the whole grind or the whole just the grind. It's the almost the Sherlock Holmes complex, right? So
Right.
the whole thing is can I beat this? Can I solve this?
Yeah.
Am I more clever than the AI? Am I more clever than the way they set this up where I can find a way to beat it? So for me, that's the whole thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
So.
Right, and I totally get that too. But again, as someone who makes videos, that's the game I would do a Let's Play on because there's a lot of stuff going on. That's part of it. Because I have played games, tried to do Let's Play on games that are really complicated and deep, and I love those. But if you're watching me going what is that problem? If I press this button in this order and then I get it, just gets kind of dull. But I do love those deep games. I do got to make it clear. But
All right.
yeah.
So to kind of wrap up the whole thing, games, hardware, expectations, presentation. I think all of us would be excited to have a Switch.
Sure.
Right? Here's the $1 million question. Do you want it bad enough, based on what you've seen, to camp out in line to be one of the first people to put your games on it? Or do you wait 6 months, 8 months, a year later when they have them freely available?
Will I camp out? No. Would I camp out? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the joy for me. I remember the first time I think we camped out was for the GameCube, and we went with our dad to Toys R Us at 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was, and I don't know, it's fun to me, and everyone there is there for the same purpose.
Right.
Everybody's there because they love this and they want to be there to get these games and get this system, things like that. And so it's fun to interact with the people around you there because you're all there for the same reasons.
Sure.
So, would I? Yes, I would.
Yeah. Cool.
Same thing. I absolutely would, but I will not. The reason is because I try to make it a habit never to buy any electronics in the opening time frame.
There's always a bug.
We got
which makes
our
sense.
we got our Wii fairly soon after launch, and it had issues with like ejecting discs, or if you put it in, sometimes it just wouldn't read them, so you had to like turn it all the way off and turn it back on. It's not enough for me to hate it and go, I need a new one,
Yeah.
But it's enough that I think, man, I wish. And we got it for free. A friend of ours worked for a video game company, and they
Love
had
that
extras,
price.
and they gave it to us for Christmas.
nice.
And so I was like, sweet, I'll take, And
You
but,
still know them, or?
I know that. but so if I'm gonna buy it with my own money, I'm not gonna go that early. I'm gonna wait a little bit until they kind of figure out all the kinks and stuff, and then I will absolutely be getting a Switch. And I mean, you guys know how much I love Zelda, and for me to say I'm not getting one at launch is a huge thing.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll get one at launch.
And that's
you can play it.
I'm gonna.
I'll wait in line for your Switch, and then you can buy me
I'm gonna
mine
post
later.
spoilers, so just
Nah, I'm gonna play it just the same.
Zelda wins.
Zelda's the
Link
guy,
wins.
right?
No, Link is the guy. Zelda's the girl.
Huh.
Yeah. I always got that confused too when I used to play him, but
Somebody out there's going, oh my god, are they serious right now?
we're hardcore gamers. But no, I will. I would. I will. Oh, okay, it came out. I'm a huge Zelda fan. My favorite game series ever, and it is enough for me to pay $300 for the system. And if you got me into the other games, no. I mean, I was watching the whole thing going, that's not a seller, that's not a seller. Oh. It doesn't have to be bundled. I'll pay the extra $60 or whatever they want for it. Because to me, it's worth it. And what you're saying is smart to wait for it. And I'd recommend, if you can, be patient, wait for it. I'm not patient. And plus, for what I do, I kind of want to get my hands on it as soon as I can so I can let everybody else know if it's cool.
Sure. That's fair.
Would you camp out?
I would not camp out based on what I've seen.
Yeah.
We rated it a 5, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a 5, but it's a solid 5.
They do look fun, and I would enjoy playing them. It's not something where it blew my expectations away, and it's something that's so dramatically different
Right.
from playing on my PC, from playing on a console like a PS4 or an Xbox. It's not something that's totally radically going to change the face of gaming for me. And so am I going to wait hours or 2 days, 3 days ahead of time? No. But eventually, yeah, I would love to purchase a Switch.
Because the last thing you waited in line for was Pokemon, and that was a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
I want to talk.
I will throw. I did enjoy the game. We don't want to go on this rant, but I did enjoy the game. But I also waited. I got there at midnight, and I could have waited.
Yeah.
But
Literally,
that's-
I mean,
Yeah.
you were doing that. How many people? Like maybe 10, 15 people
Something like
there?
that.
We had a big old line, but this was the mall, so
This is yeah.
This was in a strip on the outside.
yeah, it's a little different.
Real quick, the reason that I'm also like not really considering getting a Switch immediately is because Mass Effect Andromeda comes out March 21st. So I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna bide my time,
Yeah.
and that's what's gonna tide me over until I'm like, okay.
You can
the-
wait a year, but
the
with
Switch-
playing that
the
one,
Switch-
I mean,
bro, with how much I put into Mass Effect, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's gonna tide me over until the Switch like kind of figure out if
That's a good point.
and this is assuming that they have like kinks or bugs or whatever, So
Okay, so then, as the last question of the video, or at least for this episode,
The last question.
I want to bring it back to a question we brought up in the last episode. Now that we've had more official detail. Based on what you've seen, now we know the battery life estimation. Now we know the game, what the hardware looks like, the whole scare of losing your console. Will the Switch replace the 3DS?
No.
Still say no.
No, still say
Okay.
no. I think if, like I said, if they come out with Switch XL or something like that, where it's like, hey, now it's 1080p and it has an 8-hour battery life, you would go, okay, maybe, maybe this is going to take over. With the specs, what they are, what little we know about the specs, and how little the resolution is, how short the battery life is, it just can't beat taking your 3DS out there and playing all day.
But what about people that'll say, well, I'll just buy a battery?
I haven't-
those
I-
really
yeah.
battery, external things.
Yeah.
Plug it into the USB connection, and now I can take it for hours.
I would say the only thing that's going to give you like a legitimate source of enough battery power are the really big battery packs, and carrying that around with the Switch, it's just,
Yeah,
I feel like it's a little off.
And just to kind of add to that too, I know like with the tablet that I use, if it's not being charged with the charger that I have, it just sits there. It doesn't even charge because it's a beefy enough tablet spec wise, and the Switch is probably going to be at least more powerful than my tablet, so that could be an issue too.
I just got one question for you. Does your 3DS have FIFA? That's all I'm saying.
But it has Hyrule Warriors.
No, for me personally, it will replace my 3DS. Because like we were talking about, I have the external battery pack and I have a USB 3.0, so it charges faster than what my tablet and my phone can use.
Nice.
Dare I say it, Summoner's War it is the biggest battery hog of a game that I've ever played on my phone, and my charger charges up no problem. So I think, and the fact that I carry that around with me regardless, because I always have my bag with me. I keep it in there, plug it in. I think it would, for me personally, it will be a replacement for the 3DS.
That's a good point. I think the thing I don't know if it would be a replacement. I think I'll have both, to be honest, because it is, from the lineup and the games I saw, it's going to be a while before the Switch really has a library, from what I see, unless they do some surprise announcements
Well, so they had
for launch.
They said over 80 are in
In development, but
And
that could be a
FIFA.
year, that could
What
be
aren't
2.
you-
I know,
what aren't you kidding, man?
right? So yes, then, because FIFA. But no, I don't think I would, because
People are gonna hate him.
well, because here's the thing too, is I have
like
Majora's.
FIFA has hardcore fans. They're gonna like roast you.
Yeah. I love FIFA. He doesn't. But no, in all honesty, I love Majora's Mask. I'm playing through that now. There's so many games on the 3DS. It's got such a large library. Unless they switch some of that over, that wasn't even on purpose. I don't see myself, just getting rid of my 3DS. But here's something that to think about, because if you're talking about overall replacing, they're not making Wii U's anymore, and they're not making the 3DS anymore. They've announced it, so it's official. And I asked my friends at a game store that, and they stop games, that they told me that there's nothing foreseeable in the future. They can't even keep them, and everything's pre-owned, and they might even just be out of the warehouse. So there's not going to be a lot of support for the 3DS anymore.
But to be fair, Nintendo could pull a huge announcement and be like,
The 4DS.
Well, yeah, and that's fair, but I'm going off of what's known,
yeah.
and what's known, I think at some point, yes,
I will say,
but not in the
my
first year.
opinion,
Not in the first year.
Yeah.
I think it will replace the girl. I
Yeah.
think we were right about our joke. I think they purposely needed the Switch
Yeah.
because it's literally what they're envisioning for handheld devices.
Right.
I think this is their kind of bold move to drop their handheld line and say, no, this is the handheld line.
And I will add to that this thing I said before when we were talking about it. When Nyko or Mad Catz come out with a battery extension,
Yep.
that might do it for me too. It depends. If I'm playing Zelda on the Switch, I'm not going to worry about carrying my 3DS. But also for me, I'm kind of a nerd, and I really like the Miiverse stuff and meeting new people online. I met some guy from Japan, If they do that on the Switch, then that's going to be easier for me to.
They did.
drop
They
it,
did
but-
say that the Joy Cons or whatever they were called, they had the NFC connections.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's something that they'll.
Well,
Yeah.
they also announced that they're going to have region unlocked. So
Yeah.
they're not going to have region locking anymore.
I will say this too. I do like the fact that it's only 6.2 inches because some people are like, I want it to be bigger, but I could still carry it around a lot easier. Put it in my jacket pocket. Although not open pockets, kajong, you know. But so I do think I agree with you. But I think it's about a year's time.
Yeah. Will it take over? Yes. Is it going to take over right now? No.
And I will say this just to kind of add a little bit. I think that once the Switch starts coming out, once they start launching it, and people can get their hands on it, depending on how many, if it's 2 or 10, that GameStop's going to get, people will start selling their 3DSs and their Wii U's and stuff, so you'll be able to get a hold of 3DS. That's why I think it's going to last a little bit longer. So that's just, my two.
Okay, guys. So just to recap, they officially announced.
Yes.
Iteration. They officially announced March 3rd as the release date. They did say Japan pre-orders wouldn't be to the 21st
Of January.
of January, but I think we did also look up online, and GameStop is saying they are taking reservations as tomorrow.
My friend texted me. I don't know if it's
Okay.
official. He
Okay,
just said
maybe.
he said they're still there. He works there, and he's a
He
manager.
said, I got some in a van. Come down, I can get you a free
Yeah.
order.
Just for the
They're plastic.
tomorrow is the 13th.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know when this video is going to go up, but
Yeah.
But
So
look
maybe by
look
the
it
time
up.
this is posted,
Yeah.
maybe it's already available.
Look it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
cost is $299.99.
Right,
Uh-huh.
and official announced launch titles are the Zelda and
Zelda.
the
Breath of
1-2
the Wild
Switch.
and 1-2
1-2
Switch.
Switch. So the normal Nintendo one game, but an amazing game.
And then again, the tablet
Three,
portion,
well,
6.2, 780p or 720p.
Yes, and
I'm not sure
I think
1-2 Switch
battery
counts.
life. They're projecting 2.5 to 6.5.
Yeah,
Probably closer to 2 to 6, but okay.
yeah,
That's my bus ride. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
yeah. And most if you're taking a big trip, most things have outlets. So there's that.
that's true. All right, so I think that about wraps it up for
Yep.
this episode. Feel free. I know we didn't mention this last episode, but feel free to use the hashtag the next checkpoint. If you guys have suggestions for us to look into, if there's favorite games or content or gaming news or anything like that you're interested in, you want to get our takes on, you can use that hashtag, and we do check on that regularly. Obviously, each of us have a Twitter.
We tweet.
And
We tweet.
at least for us two,
Yeah.
We have our respective YouTube channels, mine being Down Underdog and
Meteor Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Also have VidMe.
there you go.
Check out VidMe. It's fun. It's a small, cute community, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Well, I'm Down Underdog.
I am that guy named Ben.
And this is your captain speaking.
And I'm the Meteor Man.
And we'll see you guys at the next checkpoint.
Domo arigato.